Well, 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 Noah.
Is it time for our next shift?
Nope.
Oh.
I have just hacked our little clock-in thing, and I gave us a 2-hour break.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that fun?
It is.
Perfect time for us to watch an underrated movie.
An underrated movie. Okay.
Yes. But, we got to decide on which one we want to watch.
Okay.
So, I got some suggestions. Do you have any?
Oh, I have one in mind.
Okay. Well, I'll let you go first.
Well, that would be Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Oh, here we go.
The movie without Michael Myers.
Oh my God. Okay, so I've never actually seen this one. Okay. But let me quickly Google it so that way I have some kind of notes.
You get reception in here?
The deep back rooms. Well, who put all these VHSs here? I mean, Jesus Christ. Oh man. Anyway, so give me a rundown.
So the story goes, it's 5 days till Halloween. This company called Silver Shamrock is selling Halloween masks. They're the hottest Halloween masks in the country. This doctor is looking into these weird deaths surrounding Silver Shamrock, and the daughter of a store owner who went missing after picking up his order from Silver Shamrock both go to the town where their company resides and begins to investigate the spooky goings-on of this weird town. It's great.
The spooky goings-on.
I've been watching a lot of Scooby-Doo, Greg. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man, yeah, I'm reading about it right now. So this is the only Halloween movie that doesn't have Michael Myers in it.
Yes, this is when they wanted the movies to be an anthology series, which was the original intent of Halloween, but no one liked it when it came out.
Yeah, I can see why.
There's this Back to the Future meme that I keep seeing popped up when people talk about Season of the Witch, where it's like, you're not ready for that, but your kids are going to love it.
So these are masks that have possessed people to kill, right?
Oh no, Greg. No. They put pieces of Stonehenge in these masks.
Oh, God.
I made the break room mic peak.
Yes, the hanging break room mic.
The boom mic we installed there. And the guy who runs Silver Shamrock is an old Irish warlock who's going to do this ritual on Halloween to kill millions of people. Whenever the commercial plays for Silver Shamrock, because they're running a contest for Halloween.
This is the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life.
Subliminal messages are sent to the mask, which causes all the kids to die. And then snakes and poisonous spiders come out of the mask due to the Irish magic to kill the parents. It is awesome.
Oh.
You have to watch this movie.
Apparently I have to. There's the TV sends fucking signals out to the masks.
Which have pieces of Stonehenge in them.
Which have pieces of Stonehenge in them. Okay. All right.
And the guy who runs the company used to be a clockmaker, so he has an army of automatons, which...
What do the pieces of Stonehenge look like? Are they actual taped onto there, or are they in?
No, so each mask has a Silver Shamrock badge on it, like a logo, and they're in the badge, Greg.
Oh, I see. So this guy just chiseled off pieces of Stonehenge?
See, we get to see the command center, and he stole an entire side of it. You gotta think the British government's fucking scratching their heads about that one. Where'd it go?
Who shaved Stonehenge? This is horrible.
No, it's great. It's really fun.
All right. Yeah, I believe you. So why do you think it's underrated, per se? It's just fun?
It's fun. It has a great story. I would definitely say it's overhated. I'm not so sure if it's underrated. I have another movie actually in mind to talk about underratedness.
Okay.
It's definitely overhated, though.
Okay, yeah, I see. Because, Not what people were expecting. People wanted Michael
No,
Myers.
but it's what they needed, Greg.
It's-
It's what they needed.
Oh, I was unaware. It's what
You'll understand. It's great.
when did this come out?
Oh, God. Like, I don't even know off the top of my head.
1982, apparently.
Oh, there you go.
So this was what caused the crash of the 70s.
Obviously.
So this is why the 80s were so forgettable.
Greg, are we thinking of the same 80s?
I don't know. I hear nothing about the 80s other than crap.
MTV, big hair, cocaine, and money in excess.
Yeah, but it's not the 70s, bro.
Okay. And Ronald Reagan.
Or the 90s.
That guy. And Synthwave. Synthwave is huge again.
That's just because of that one regular show episode. And Cyberpunk.
Thought that was because of that one show on Netflix with the kids.
Oh,
and
yeah. The Stranger
the
Things.
psychic girl. Oh, and I see. I'm not promoting Netflix.
Oh, I see. Stranger Things. I saw it too.
I refuse to give them my patronage after what they did.
Well, is your other movie old as well?
It's from the 90s, early 2000s.
Okay, well then this is an interesting dynamic because I have two movies that are newer. One's much more newer than the other one, though. And I'd like to talk about the first movie, which is both of them are underrated, in my opinion. Well, one of them is definitely overhated and underrated at the same time, but we'll get into that later. But the one movie that I think is underrated, and this came to my mind immediately, was Bullet Train.
I've heard of that one, but I'm not sure if I've seen it.
I think it's made by the same people who did John Wick, but it's kind of like John Wick, but much more comedy driven. In my opinion, it's a perfect blend of action and comedy, and it tries to do the whole like ooh, whoosh whoosh whoosh, I tied everything together in the end, whoosh whoosh whoosh. That part kind of falls flat sometimes, but I think it's by far one of the most fun movies I've ever seen in my life. I would rate this movie really high, and the reason why I brought this up initially is because I rewatched it and I was like, man, what did people think about this? And I looked it up, and it has like a 6 out of 10 audience score and an even worse critic score. And I was like, wow, really? I thought this would have been way higher for like your average moviegoer. I mean, granted, I didn't have a very good movie experience with this, or movie theater experience with this movie. I haven't had a good movie theater experience in fucking years. But you know,
Greg, when we went to go see John Wick 4, I thought that was okay.
I like John Wick.
Yeah, I like that movie, but I thought our theater going experience went okay. I don't remember screaming children.
Oh, dude, you should have seen the audience I had for the latest Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, that was your fault there. You went to go see Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Greg.
I didn't have a choice. My brother was like, hey, you want to go for, this for old time's sake? And I was like, oh, why? Okay, yeah. I'd been kind of shoving him aside when it came to watching movies with him, so I felt bad. So I went to go see the absolute dog shit piece of crap that was Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. But we're not talking about the Dial of Destiny. We're talking about Bullet Train. Okay. And since
we're not talking about the aliens one?
No.
That's not that bad?
No. Anyway, so you said you haven't seen Bullet Train.
No, I have not.
Okay. The premise is it's a bullet train that's going, I think from...
Real quick. So it's not a train made out of bullets, right?
No. But there are bullets on the train.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, that's the twist.
Okay. Well, that's not exactly the twist, but I guess if you want to say it's a play on words, I guess we can make the argument there, but Jesus Christ. Anyway, so the premise of Bullet Train is there's a man, Brad Pitt. God, what a stunning man. Anyway, Brad Pitt is hired to steal something. And he steals an item that's related to two guys who are on another mission to save this one guy, and then there's another person on the train whose job it is to kill that guy, and then there's another person on the train whose job is to kill Brad Pitt, and there's this interweaving web of like motives and set pieces and all sorts of backstory. The backstory, by the way, in this movie is fantastic. First of all, most characters in this movie receive like a short montage when they're introduced to give them a slight backstory. It's rare when they're full on like explained who they are and what their motives are. And in fact, there's one character in specific who has no dialogue in his backstory, but you can completely tell what his motives are. And it's fantastic. And he dies in 5 seconds. It is great. I love this movie. In fact, we should definitely watch it soon together.
Okay.
If you want, I highly recommend this movie to people. It's so so fun. It's so fun. My friends also didn't like it, but that's because we watched it on a bit of a pirate website. I don't know if that's legal to say anymore, but
I think you go to YouTube jail for that.
Oh no. That's where they're keeping Russell Brand right now. No, I'm just kidding. Cut that out.
I think he's in real jail. I gotta burn my copy of Get Him to the Greek.
Anyway. Oh, fuck. Yeah, so the reason why they didn't like it was because we watched it on a bad website, and the website cut out the subtitles. And the reason why the subtitles are important is there are multiple characters that speak different languages.
Yeah, I saw Bad Bunny was in it, so I'm like, Spanish has to be in it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, good.
Do you want me to talk about my underrated movie, I guess?
Let me see if there's anything I want to
going?
wrap up about Bullet Train. Timeless classic. No.
It's the new Tremors.
I don't know. I really do feel like in the future people are going to reminisce about this movie. I think people are going to realize, hey, this is kind of a hidden gem that nobody ever really talked about.
Okay, I hear you.
Anyway, your next movie, your horror movie.
So, my next movie comes from the late and great Wes Craven. This was right before he had his renaissance, and this is Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
New Nightmare.
The worst performing Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It was meant to reboot the franchise, floundered at the box office, and it's probably my favorite of those movies. Absolutely probably my favorite.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Let me look at the box office. So the budget was $8 million. It barely made $19 million compared to the last one, which made $34 million.
This makeup work is kind of great. I'm looking at Freddy's makeup work, unless this is CGI.
No, it was 94. There's a little bit of CGI in the movie, mainly near the beginning, but other than that, it's mostly practical.
Yeah, I like this. Or at least I like the visuals of it.
So, the whole story behind New Nightmare is that it takes place in our world. The Freddy movies are movies in that world as well.
Oh, God.
What?
They did that?
It was basically his prototype for Scream. And the main girl from the first movie, Heather Landcamp, who played Nancy, comes back to play herself. And the story is about these weird occurrences that are happening in the LA area. The main actress, who was in the original movie, she's having these horrible nightmares. LA is having these nonstop earthquakes, like real life.
Well, you got to chuck hurricanes onto there, too.
Oh, yeah, that's new. Make this timely.
Yeah, let's say we recorded this episode around then. Yeah, let's just say that.
And the whole idea is that because there are no more movies, there was a demon, and this is like sort of the weird way that it works, but Wes Craven's in the movie. He has a cameo where he plays himself as well, and he sort of gives a little bit of explanation of like what's going on. There is this demon that can be captured by storytellers, and While this narrative is going around, this demon is captured and can't invade the real world. But since the movie's ended, it's now free to wreak havoc on the actual real world, and it's taken the form of Freddy because it likes that form.
Oh, okay. I get it. So it's not actually Freddy.
No. Yeah, it's a demonic creature that's taken its form. That's why, like, some things are inconsistent from the original movie.
Bro, this is just the Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters.
Not really, but kind of. Like, I see where you're going with this, but...
The form has been chosen.
It's really well thought out. The writing is great. You get this sense of, like, uneasiness and dread. The effects are mostly well done, except for, like, one or two that are a little sketch because it was 94. But the pacing is really great. Everyone's relatively believable. Robert Englund, who plays Freddy, plays himself for a lot of the movie, and he's talking about how he's having these nightmares and how he's having these issues, and it sort of goes about like the fall of this character and how he sort of became a parody of himself. And it's sort of like injected life into this character and made him genuinely scary again for the first time in a long time. People are starting to come around to it now. It was actually fairly well loved by critics, but audiences just completely dismissed it. And it's not until like recently when people are starting to give it another look, probably because of Wes Craven's untimely death, rest his soul. You can see where he got a lot of the ideas for Scream he was working with. Like, it's just such an interesting film.
All right, besides the fact I've never heard you say rest his soul, that's pretty interesting. Are both of the movies you're talking about just consequences of they're a part of a cinematic universe, but not actually?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't even think about that. Wow, that's crazy, Greg. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Huh. I mean, like, yeah, it does seem kind of unfair for people to think of it like that. Or, well, I guess... Not really. They probably saw Freddy Krueger in like some promotional advertisement and thought, "Oh my God, it's Nightmare on Elm Street!" Oh, but it's Wes Craven being different. And you said this was his prototype for Scream, so I assume there's some kind of like overlap.
When I say prototype, it mainly means the fact that it started those meta elements that he would later perfect in Scream. Because the movie is very meta. There's scenes that take place at New Line Cinema.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Any closing remarks you want to say?
It's definitely a movie for people who love movies.
It's definitely a movie of all time.
If you love the art of making movies and what goes behind the scenes, you'll really enjoy a lot of this. And it's a great character study on this mother and son who are going through this sort of shared trauma that they don't understand. Yeah, it has a lot of great cameos. A lot of like production people and CEO people play themselves in the movie, and they give really good performances, which is insane. Like, it's a bunch of things that feel like they shouldn't work, and it all comes together really well. Like, it was really well thought out as an idea and as a script. The actual script for the movie is in the movie.
okay. So the actual script
While the movie is going on, Wes Craven is writing the movie we are watching.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
It's interesting, and it's fantastic, and I would highly recommend it.
Oh my God, that is so funny. All right, yeah. Anyway, Noah, it's getting late, so I guess I'll talk about my next movie. And, you know, this movie is kind of a little special to me because it's one of the first movies I ever actually bought myself on DVD. Most of the movies I've watched at home were my brother's movies, and my brother usually buys the movies, but my brother didn't like this movie, so he didn't want to buy it. I ended up buying it.
Is this Green Hornet again?
No, this is not Green Hornet. Leave me alone about my opinions of Green Hornet. You've been hounding me about this for years.
It's okay. I almost came in wanting to talk about Star Wars Episode 8, so...
I will not talk... Oh, God.
It's the best movie of that trilogy, anyway.
What have you done?
I'm just gonna remove this whole section.
I will not take Seth Rogen slander, okay? I will not take it. His writing genius. Anyway, well, I guess you want to know something? This movie kind of has a similar thought process behind it to the Green Hornet.
Okay.
And that's,
what do you got?
That is the Sherlock Holmes movie starring Robert Downey Jr.
Wow. I haven't thought about those in forever.
I loved both of these movies, but I wanted to talk about the first one because the second one kind of fell flat for me in the end, but I still liked it nonetheless. I think the reason why I liked this movie so much is because it's a take on Sherlock Holmes as if he was like a comic book hero. You know, it kind of has that atmosphere to it, you know, where he has these long pauses where he's thinking about what to do. There's really dramatic camera angles and kind of wacky scenarios that he's in. Almost like, you know, I've never read much about the original Sherlock Holmes, but I can't imagine he was being put in kooky situations like this all the time. I mean, like, I have no idea what his relationship with Moriarty was in the original Sherlock Holmes books, but I can't imagine that Moriarty was literally hell-bent on starting a world war.
I remember he wanted a lot of things, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so you've seen this movie. So this is the first movie that we've talked about where we both actually seen it.
Many, many, many years ago.
So, would you like to give any input?
So I saw this movie when it came out in 2010?
Yeah, about.
And I have not seen it since. I rented it from my local movie palace.
2009, actually.
Damn, a whole 4 years before Krispy Kreme dropped.
Oh my
god. So I remember comparing it a lot to the BBC show that came out a year later, Sherlock. And in hindsight, that was dumb because Sherlock became a steaming pile of garbage. But
yep, that's true.
I remember this movie being relatively well made and for the most part pretty decent, but it has been so long since I have seen this.
You should definitely rewatch it, and
I'll give it a rewatch.
I'd love to think what your new opinion of it is, because I watch this movie once every 2 years, I'd say. Just because, I don't know, it really stuck with me when I was younger.
Okay.
The reason why I think it's so underrated is just because the way Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law interact with each other in this movie, their acting is so convincing that for a very long time, I couldn't see them as anyone else.
Until Iron Man came out and it blew your mind?
Well, Iron Man came out before this movie.
Did it? Oh, you're right. God damn.
But, I wasn't that invested in Marvel at the time. So
God, the MCU is old.
Yes. And they're trying to make another MCU that's been accelerated with growth hormones, and it's just not working.
No, I checked out after Spider-Man Enter the Multiverse, whatever.
Yeah, I'll stand by that Shang-Chi is the best of the new MCU movies. I liked it. I actually liked it more than the Spider-Man movie. Don't tell anyone.
Oh, this isn't going online or anything, so don't worry. It's not like we have a YouTube channel, Greg.
Good.
We're just dishwashers.
We are just dishwashers.
Hey, Greg, this clock isn't set for 2 hours. It was set for 2 years. Anyway,
Perfect. But yeah, closing remarks on Sherlock Holmes. I think it was kind of overlooked in a really unfair way. I mean, it has a 7 out of 10 on most places I see, but the sequel didn't do too hot, if I remember correctly.
So the original had a $90 million budget and made $500 million. The sequel had a $125 million and made more than the first one, actually, by $20 million.
Gosh. And that's actually kind of a low budget than I thought it was. A lower budget than I thought it was.
I've heard talks that they want to make a third one, but I'm not sure if that will ever happen.
I think it's a little too late.
Hey, what's Robert Downey Jr. doing now?
Being a psycho. You seen the guy?
Isn't it because he started being vegan?
Yeah, I get he looks sick.
He looks like I gotta edit that out.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I was just gonna say he looks like the villain from Iron Man 1 now, and we've come full circle, but Jesus Christ, Noah, I mean, maybe you should think before you say stuff.
I am editing that out. Like, I'm not just putting bubbles over it. I'm removing that audio entirely.
Oh my god.
So no one can find out what I said.
I would never. Okay, hold on. This image I found of him makes him kind of look like a mutated Patrick Stewart. I'm gonna put it in the work chat.
He's like if didn't have dementia. I gotta remove that too. I'm just gonna keep attacking beloved celebrities. Apparently,
is this the CIA episode where we have to black out everything?
I'm gonna put like a thing on screen that just says this is the point where Noah attacked a beloved celebrities for 5 minutes straight.
So this is the CIA episode.
And now I want to talk about that hack.
Are we killing
Christopher
Kennedy?
Nolan. Christopher Nolan is a hack director.
Christopher Nolan. All right.
Anyway, back on topic.
We have to pick a movie to watch, Noah. We're gonna be on the clock again soon.
Let me just mess with this real fast. I gave us an extra. I don't know. I set it to 4. Is that okay?
Let me see that.
It just says 4Y. What does Y mean? I think that's weeks.
Oh no, Noah. Noah, you know what that means? We can just collect checks now. We don't have to do anything. We're free.
Sweet. Let me just barricade the door.
I'll put in a movie.
Let's watch the Will Ferrell Sherlock Holmes movie.
Oh my god. The Will Ferrell Sherlock... Yeah, sure. Why not? Put it in, Noah.
Oh my god, what is this movie?
This is horrible. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. This is an abomination, an affront of nature. All right, everyone. We'll see you later, I suppose. Don't forget to...
4Ys.
Yeah, in 4Ys, whatever the fuck that means. Must be a European clock. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, and all that stuff. Why won't Derek leave? He keeps staring at us.
Derek's in this room?
He's right there.
Oh my god!